Such thing as a creator God is illogical. Why? It's a very simple answer to a very complicated question. If at home, there are some kids at home, and the dad, being a good carpenter, make a stool for every one of them, and they say, "Dad, who created this tool?" The mom said, "Dad created it." Is it really Dad who created that little wooden seat for all the children? Where did Dad get the wood from? Where did Dad get his skill from? Where did Dad get the nails and the hammer from? Dad created that wooden seat for all the kids is because Dad has all those conditions that culminate into successfully completing that stool for the kids. But for the sake of simplicity, Mom just said, "Dad created it." And the kids believe it. When you analyze it maturely in detail, can Dad created that seat without nails, without wood, without all these conditions? So how is the cosmos created? How is the world created? They created based on all the conditions fulfilled for its creation. So there's no such thing as God the Creator. If God creates you, who creates God? Logically speaking, if nothing comes out without a reason, nothing comes out without conditions. If God creates you, you come out because of all these conditions fulfilled for you to come out, to create you, then what are the conditions created for God to come out? If God comes out all by itself, no conditions, then you're beating the logic of existence. There's no such thing as things exist and come out without conditions. You name me one thing that comes out, boom, without conditions. You name me one thing. If Dad creates that stool for Johnny, he would have tried his best to create a good stool. He wouldn't create a stool that is dangerous, that is imperfect, that is not proper to sit on. How come we all created with impediments? Stuttering. I'm a stutterer. I cannot speak. How come I have a brain that is not as normal as others? Helen Keller was born with no senses, no eyes to see, no ears to listen, and no tongue to talk. I created this world to test you, to see that you're good. If you're no good, down your hell. If you're good, up your heaven. Why do this? So it's not logical. Just purely on logic. Well, I'm not criticizing other religions. Don't get me wrong. I haven't mentioned one word of religion. I haven't. I'm just talking about a logical thinking of God's creation. I respect all other religions, right? But I have doubts and queries about it. Then I don't want to blindly go into believing it. All right, that's number one. I respect all religions.
Now, I don't respect all religions, but I will respect an individual's choice to be able to believe in any religion that they choose. So let me just go ahead and be clear about that one. But this is also information that I would normally reserve for those of a higher conscious brain, because many people on the lower conscious scale, you're not going to be able to understand this. So if you are a believer in a religion, you should just stop watching this video right now. And hopefully you already have. So now, for those of you who can chew the meat and spit out the bone, for those of you who are, I can cast my pearls out, you're not swine, as the Emerald Tablet says. When the great Hermes Trismegistus was asked a question to this, pursed his lips. Hearers were not ready for the understanding. Either way, he pursed his lips and God answered, did not speak. So I'm going to speak with a little bit of pursing of the lips. So as this Buddhist monk was expressing, there is no such thing as a creation. Creation is just a term that we use. Even when I say that the all is the creator, they simplify a term because I feel that the question at times is consciousness of understanding the true answer. But if you ask me as such, there is no such thing as a creator God. Because for a creator God, something out of nothingness. And since nothing can be created out of, because something cannot be created out of nothingness, there is no creator. organize energy and matter into what we see today. When you look at it from the scientific perspective, most scientists will agree that our universe was created out of singularity. And some of that idea comes from the fact that the universe today, and those singularities will burst out as new galaxies, new stars, new nebulas, all sorts of things. We also can look back, pretty much looking back at history and looking at the extent of the universe, and it gives us a time capsule and we can see how the universe formed over time from that singularity. The theory of the singularity is sound because it goes out and then it crunches back in, goes out, crunches back in, goes out, crunches back in. That is the theory based on the amount of information and data to which we have right now. I'm sure at some point, 3,000 years from now, we will have even more data to understand things that may be different. That would mean that the universe, as far as our perspective, is eternal. Therefore, true answer to how we came into existence, how the universe came into existence, is no one will probably ever know how the universe started. Many people can't handle, I don't know. Man has this insatiable desire to have finite information about a thing. And when they can't, they create gods of the gap. But even in the videos where I give a little bit and say that we all exist in the mind of the all, I stop myself short from explaining the fact that even in the mind of the all, there are conditions already set that allows for this creative mind to work to manifest this universe. I've said it many times before, in the same dream, when you create a universe in your dream while you are dreaming, that universe exists. Even if you do it in a daydream, that universe exists. It has matter. It has rules. Um, it has natural rules that it must follow during that time frame. They exist. But in order for that universe to exist, the pre-existing condition is you. You and your mind and your ability to create in your mind. So if there is a creative mind at work that manifested the universe to which we know it, that condition of a creative mind be there. And also, that creative mind has some type of knowledge or basis to create and manifest this universe based on the reality of what you see in a matter of plane. So that creator has to have a base of reality within its existence. For creating anything on the core, it created based on pre-existing conditions. Many people can't handle that because it takes away from their eternal, all-knowing, omniscient God. But even your eternal, all-knowing, omniscient God, in your book of Genesis, he says that in the beginning, the earth was void and without form, void of life, void of form, that he fluttered over the waters. Well, the waters had to already be there. They just weren't in the formation to which we know it today. But it was void of life. Void doesn't mean completely empty, that there's nothingness there. It just means that it was void. When you look, man used to look into space and think that space was void until we realized that no, it has stars and galaxies and all that. And then we realized that there is dark matter. So what we thought was empty space is not empty space. And none of it was created in perfection. Even your heaven, there was supposedly a war in heaven. Perfection of a heaven does not exist because the pole of good, evil, perfect, damage exists at all times, and there is always damage within the perfection. That is the yin and the yang of things. Have a great one.